In the video today, we're answering a viewer question because Rachel asks us, why are barns usually painted red? Paint in some form has existed since prehistoric times. Some of the earliest forms of paint that came from mixing together dirt, ash, and organic materials with animal blood and oil. The practice of painting the exterior of various structures has been around for some unclear amount of time since that. However, not everyone has always been on board with this in recent times. For instance, certain early American settlers declared that the act of painting the outside of houses was a sign of immodesty, of wealth, and vanity. Depending on how puritanical a community was, painting a house might have even landed a person in legal trouble. For farmers and their barns in certain regions, the same mentality applied. A painted barn was a sign of extravagance, and since the main function of paint at the time was merely to add color to a structure or a room, farmers didn't see much point in spending money to make their barns look pretty. So how did they preserve the wood of their buildings without proper sealants? Well, prior to the 19th century, the preservative philosophy many farmers believed in was the right wood in the right place needed no paint. Part of the process in deciding on a location to build a barn was based on a farmer's careful assessment of the wind, sun, and water exposure that the wood exterior would endure through the years. This tried and true method, combined with plentiful, naturally weather-resistant heartwood, made many barns quite durable despite their exteriors remaining au naturel. As the years passed, however, the practice of weather assessment fell to the wayside, with farmers dabbling in more convenient and longer-lasting solutions to protect their barns from the elements. Various homemade concoctions towards this end were made, with a popular base in these being linseed oil. It soon became common to mix it with milk and lime or turpentine, creating something of a burnt orange color weather-treating paint. While this mixture sealed wood from moisture somewhat, it did not inhibit the growth of mold and moss that plagued wooden structures. For the solution to this, iron oxide, also known as rust, was also added to this homemade paint. Iron oxide could be found in abundance in the soil on farms in the eastern United States, among other places, which made it literally dirt cheap and easy to obtain. Depending on the exact soil composition and amount of iron oxide used for a particular homemade batch of the paint, it would take on anywhere from the aforementioned burnt orange color to a dark red-brown. When such paint became cheaply available via mass production in the late 1800s, farmers often stuck with the color red because, thanks to the abundance of iron oxide, red paint was still generally the cheapest paint on the shelf, although this is certainly not the case today. As for why barns are still often painted red, albeit generally much brighter reds than the classic red-brown, despite no real inherent cost savings anymore, this is just down to tradition. And now for a bonus fact. The word barn originated from the Old English words bear and ern. Bear means barley or grain, and ern describes a storage place, so barn essentially means a storage place for grain. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do give us a thumbs up below, and do not forget to subscribe. Also, why not check out my new channel called Highlight History? You'll find that linked to below. And as always, thank you for watching.